Good afternoon. Post lunch, everybody's here? Say good afternoon. Yes, people are there. Okay. Thank you for the introduction, madam. Today, we are going to discuss something about the proposed and the RBI had in mind, and subsequently what was implemented in terms of the Banking Regulation Act. थोड़ा हिंदी में भी बात करो चलेगा? या तो अमेंडमेंट से आप हैप्पी है कि नहीं है? हैप्पी और नॉट हैप्पी विद द अमेंडमेंट्स? हाँ, अनहैप्पी है? कुछ तो होगा दो में से एक. लेट मी जस्ट एक्सप्लेन यू द पर्पस बिहाइंड दिस अमेंडमेंट्स. उसमें थोड़ा आपका कन्वीनियंस भी है, आपके कोई डायरेक्टर्स के लिए भी थोड़ा फायदा हुआ है. और आपको पता है एक कैंपेन किया था आरबीआई ने, टॉप 100 ट्रेस इन 100 डेज. याद है किसी को? यू रिकलेक्ट? टॉप 100 unclaimed deposits to be traced in 100 days. So RBI came up with so many the kind of activities to ensure that it should be in the interest of the whom? Our customers, your customers, correct? अगर आपके कस्टमर है तो आप रहेंगे ना. So in that context, let me tell you these amendments which came basically to enhance the customer experience. So when we talk about customer experience, we talk about the smooth transition. हमारे में से कोई everybody is mortal, correct? So we ensure the transfer of our funds to right person. So that was one area where RBI made these amendments. Similarly, with the multiple nominees, I'm going to elaborate one by one. A lot of the convenience given to the customers at large. Also, basically, if you look at the customer's experience, the RBI also has enhanced the strong framework. And to be precise, when we talk about the reporting, there were a lot of anomalies in the reporting in terms of 1 to 14 days, then the next 14 days. So that has been streamlined with the CRR provision, that is of Section 18. So this is applicable to each and every one. And in terms of that, now what has come is 1 to 15th of the month, and then the subsequent fortnight. So fortnight has been taken as the focus for reporting, which has really made administrative convenience for all of you. So that was the basic purpose for behind this amendment. Now also, let me just elaborate something, the main portion about the unclaimed deposits. I'm going to compare even with the capital market as well, being part of the capital market for last many years. Sorry, हिंदी में बोलूँ? ठीक है. अभी नॉमिनेशन और अनक्लेम दोनों के बारे में बात करने वाला हूँ. आप लोग में से मेरे ख्याल से काफ़ी लोग तो मार्केट में भी माहिर रहेंगे. कैपिटल मार्केट में, कैपिटल मार्केट में भी सेबी ने कंपलसरी नॉमिनेशन किया. याद है आपको? डीमैट अकाउंट हो या ट्रेडिंग अकाउंट हो, एंड देन यू हैव टू स्पेसिफाई इफ यू आर नॉट nominating. So in fact, if you compare capital market and the banking regulation, काफ़ी फ़र्क है, because there was hardly any KYC compliance until the last century as far as the SEBI was concerned, because SEBI itself came into picture in the year 1992. और वो सब KYC का हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? झमेला बोलते हैं. So KYC had all started somewhere in the late last century of last decade, and again that got streamlined. But we had a comfort when the demat accounts were introduced. So again, nomination was a key issue. Now I am going to compare this provision of nomination. RBI has taken actually a very positive stance, let me tell you, in terms of the nominations. One is there are 4 nominations allowed instead of 1 with the amendment. As per SEBI Act, whether it is for the demat account or for your trading account, खाली 3 नॉमिनेशन अलाउड है. यहाँ पे अभी 4 नॉमिनेशन अलाउड हो गए. सेबी ने क्या किया था? कंपलसरी किया था, और आपको नॉमिनेट नहीं करना है तो you have to specify that I don't want to nominate. RBI has taken one further step ahead. For that, of course, as I told you, the unclaimed deposits, as per RBI figures as of March 24, करीब 78,213 crores unclaimed deposits थे सब बैंकों में पकड़ के, और this was really concern. और फिर वो 10 साल का पीरियड, फिर वो क्लाइंट को ढूंढो, जो मैंने बोला 100 days में top 100 clients who have not claimed. So RBI came with lot of activities to resolve this. उसमें एक क्या हो गया कि RBI ने एक जो बोल्ड स्टेप लिया उसका मुझे आपको बताना है. फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट नॉमिनेशन के बारे में RBI ने क्या किया. तो अभी 4 nominees आर अलाउड. एक सिंपल केस लेते हैं पहला 4 nominees का. इफ यू आर हैविंग 4 nominees A, B, C, D, 25% each you can define. अगर सपोज अनफॉर्चुनेटली 1% dies तो क्या होता है, balance 3 will get equal. So there is no again complication to go back, and all these complications were rest aside. The other provision which is more bold, let me tell you, I'll explain how it is. In terms of that provision, nominees which are allowed, there is a provision where a person appoints 4 nominees A, B, C, D, and God forbid some reason A dies, then B comes into picture. Now in stricter sense, or as we call in the legal terms, it is known as perpetual succession. Let me go back to the other provision, that is Transfer of Property Act. The Transfer of Property Act section 14, actually it prohibits perpetual succession. What does it mean? It means that suppose a person by his will nominates A, his property A for life, then B for life. Let me explain again. जो पर्सन नॉमिनेट कर रहा है वो क्या करता है, प्रॉपर्टी इज बिक्विट टू ए फॉर लाइफ, जब तक ए जिंदा है तब तक, उसके पश्चात बी जिंदा है तब तक, फिर सी. दिस इज नोन एज परपेचुअल सक्सेशन. अंडर द ट्रांसफर ऑफ प्रॉपर्टीज एक्ट, this is known as perpetual succession. It is not allowed. Such kind of bequeath is not permitted. Whereas RBI has taken a bolder decision here in terms of, one is, if there are 4 nominees, if one of them passes away, it is distributed equally. And in case of the nominee in the order of A, B, C, D, suppose A passes away while the original holder is alive, the B takes over. So in short, RBI has ensured that this headache of nomination is once for all over, and that's a very positive step, I would say. And this has actually gone almost a lot of thinking behind this when it's to be done. And in terms of this administrative cost, I would say the kind of efforts that you would have to take to trace this actually will be going to save, because every time there is a headache. Now again, when these things are done, what exactly is the purpose and what exactly is to be done? So when the unclaimed deposits are now, after 7 years, it is going to be transferred to where? Investor Education and Protection Fund, IEPF. It really serves a good purpose. Whereas, again, let me take the comparing with capital market. Capital market, again, we had seen, we were in the era of physical. So we had all share certificates with us. And हमारे पुरखों ने कई जगह हमने देखा है कि हमारे दादाजी या पिताजी कई शेयर सर्टिफिकेट्स तो हमको पता ही नहीं कहाँ है. और डिविडेंड वारंट आता था when there was no DMAT. So SEBI came up with this Investor Protection Fund. I am also part of one of the committees on the National Securities Depository. So basically, how these funds are created. These funds are created and by asking exchanges and depositories to contribute. Now, exchange and depositories, you know what regulator does. अगर आपने कुछ KYC में वायलेशन किया, कुछ इंस्पेक्शन हो गया, तो क्या करते हैं आप लोग? फाइन भरना पड़ता है. बड़े बड़े बैंक भी फाइन भरते हैं. तो all these funds are collected similarly by SEBI as well, the exchanges. So these funds, by way of either you say depositories or even by the exchanges. So whatever fines are put on the brokers or depository participants, now banks are also depository participant here, let me tell you. So all those funds get transferred to the investor protection fund. And what it actually enhances, remember here in banking for term deposits we have insurance for 5 lakh rupees. That's not the case as far as the capital market is concerned. In capital market, there could be fraudulent activities, the shares could get transferred to some other account. So this fund also, even the broker can get bankrupt. So these funds are utilized for that purpose. So, and again, the bona fide person can claim that amount. But these funds get accumulated both by the depositories and the exchanges. So any fraudulent activity takes place, there's a cap of 5 lakh rupees where the investor gets paid from that amount. Similarly, investor education programs are rolled by SEBI across India in all languages. So the purpose of creating such fund is excellent, and probably that's the reason the Reserve Bank also is taking steps towards that. And in long run, really, the person who is a genuine person who wants to claim his bona fides, he can always get the amount. But till that amount lies in the fund, the best utilization can be done for the purpose of investor education. So this is the, I could say, broader concept what RBI in mind when this section came into force. And again, the illustration what I wanted to give about the Transfer of Property Act. So a person cannot operate interest which is to take effect after lifetime of one or more living persons at the date of transfer. So RBI has gone a step ahead, and in that respect, I think this guideline is really going to helpful to the investors at large. And unclaimed settlement actually could be done in a very proper manner. Again, there are certain limitations here. Like in, if you're talking about your investment in the capital market, your shares, you had something called share certificate, distinctive numbers. So there are certain agencies which actually can help you. Supposing any one of you can actually do that. Supposing आपको अगर पता करना है कि आपको कोई unclaimed shares कहीं भी है क्या, कहीं भी कंपनी में, तो एक वेबसाइट है कोरा कागज करके, सॉरी कीमती कागज, कीमतीकागज.com. तो आप आपका नाम डालिए, सरनेम डालिए और पिन कोड डालिए. So they have actually accumulated a lot of data, and based on that they can actually help you. So this may be like our grandfather or our fathers, if by any neglect the shares are not claimed by the legal heirs. So this can help. So such activities actually really help the investors at large. So when we talk about these amendments, obviously the governance as well as administrative convenience, जो administrative convenience आपको मिला ये amendment से, that is really going to help you a lot. Again, there were certain what you can say the alignments in terms of अगर आप देखोगे tenure of the directors and even the what we call as substantial interest. Substantial interest was defined when you are holding rupees 5 lakhs or 10% of the paid up capital, and obviously that 5 lakhs was not aligned with the current status, and that's why this has been enhanced to now 2 crores. So that's another positive amendment which has come into force. And in terms of the other amendment is the tenure of directors getting extended from 8 to 10 years. Of course, except in this case is the chairperson and whole-time director. But this is again what you can say, there was little, you can say that anomaly, and especially when you were talking about the cooperative banks, that leadership factor actually came into picture, and that's the reason this 10 years tenure has been introduced, and even the cap of 5% has gone to 2 crores. So it is really making that realistic pattern in terms of improving the governance at stretch, and basically that continuity of the directors is really going to help the cooperative banks in a longer run. And really when we talk about substantial interest, 5 lakh amount is really a small amount, one could say. And that's the reason this got aligned. And when we talk about these compliances, the basic administrative issues really got sorted. Instead of waiting for the alternate Friday, it's got frozen to a fortnight. So that reporting is really going to help you at large. And there are a lot of, in fact, the examples getting circulated on the nomination side. But I think even when the act was introduced and the examples were given, so there is quite clarity in terms of these 4 nominees. I think that will, it has been illustrated very well, so that because again, let me tell you, unless we as bankers do not understand these provisions properly, it cannot pass on to our clients. So we have to ensure that these provisions are properly understood by our own people, so that when the people come at your doorstep, you need to tell them in really proper manner. And from that perspective only, because finally, who will come to your doorstep for nomination? Senior citizens, correct? Am I right? These are the ones who are likely to come to your doorstep. So, हम लोग उसको कैसे सर्विस देने वाले हैं? एक तो पूरी नॉमिनेशन की पूरी क्लैरिटी हमारे पास होनी चाहिए to tell them to implement this. And when we talk about these things, जैसे आपको पता है कि ऑटो कन्वर्जन ऑफ KYC से होना चाहिए कोई भी सीनियर सिटीजन का. And that is another thing what you need to really keep in mind, because when we talk about even the Jivan Praman scheme, where the living certificate has to be given, so it is your responsibility that in order to ensure that proper nomination is at place, you need to identify your own senior citizens. And those senior citizens on the threshold of becoming senior, you need to identify them, and you need to go to their doorsteps and clarify in terms of these nomination provisions. Similarly, we also have that concept of doorstep banking, and even RBI does the compliance certificate, inspection. So I think if the cooperative bankers really become what you can proactive, आप सामने से जाना चाहिए उनके पास, कि ऐसा नहीं है कि एक तो आरबीआई ने स्कीम लाया 100 डेज में टॉप 100 को ट्रेस करो, दैट इज फाइन, द अटेम्प्ट्स वेर मेड, बट आपको क्या करना चाहिए कि अभी जो दोज हु आर ऑन द वर्ज ऑफ अटेनिंग एज ऑफ 60, आप आपके सिस्टम्स के आइडेंटिफाई करना चाहिए. यू नीड टू गो टू देम, यू नीड टू इंसिस्ट. अगर उन्होंने नॉमिनेशन नहीं किया है, अगर नॉमिनेशन 1 है तो 4 करने चाहिए, और वो 4 का फ़ायदा क्या है उनको समझाना चाहिए. तो अगर आप ये करोगे तो आपके भी हैसल्स कम रहेंगे, एंड पीस ऑफ माइंड टू यू एज वेल एज टू योर कस्टमर्स. सो मेरे ख्याल दैट इज आई वांटेड टू लिंक दिस सीनियर सिटीजन्स हियर, बिकॉज this actually comes for the senior citizens only when we talk about nomination, because we have seen there are a lot of reluctance as far as the customers are concerned to really nominate at younger age or a middle age. So I think these are the things one really need to understand to implement this. And of course आप तो in terms of understanding you are all senior people, so I don't have to stress on that, but these are the things I thought that should strike to you, and you become proactive and take it forward. So that's all from my side. Thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity given to me by Mr. Naik and Mr. Khirwadkar. Thank you very much.